With the Remnant Trooper now shipping, this is a great time to talk about the Incinerator Trooper by Mandalorian. I imagine it can't be too far behind. This is 6-Scale Economist. Let's jump right into it. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is 6-Scale Economist. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Incinerator Trooper. So as we know, like, as recording of this video, the Remnant Trooper is starting to ship out for people. So I figured now's a better time than ever to get a video out on this Incinerator Trooper. See if, if for all the people that are still on the fence and not sure if they want to pick up this figure, or your window might be closing, so this may be a good time to talk about it. As always, first we're going to talk about this figure from a collection perspective, and then we're going to talk about it from an investment perspective. Okay, so jumping right into it, from a collection perspective, this figure looks sick. In general, I'm a bit more nimble when it comes to stormtroopers. I feel like I don't need a ton of stormtroopers crowding my DTOF, and there's a lot of different variations out there and different ones that you can get. But I like this one. Like, I think it looks sick. I really don't like the all red look on the Sith Trooper, but I love how this one just has like hits of red. But you can still really see under there that it's really just a stormtrooper, and that all white just really looks it always looks so good on the shelf. And I love the red pauldron that he comes with. I also like the subtle thing where it like clips in. I think that looks cool. I don't know, it kind of just looks like a backpack. And then obviously the big selling point for this figure is that badass fire pack and fire gun. It looks so good. It's such an awesome accessory, and this shot right here. I mean, we're never going to be able to create a shot that looks like that, but that is so sick. And I love how for this shot, they actually had, like, glare reflecting onto the Stormtrooper. Hot Toys spares no expense when it comes to these images. And obviously, like, this is just a repaint of the Return of the Jedi one, as you can see by these green eyelids. I'm not a big fan of the green eyelids. I prefer the... like, the Rogue One looking Stormtrooper. And I actually have one right here, so let me break it out real quick. Just so you guys can see what I'm talking about for those of you who don't know. The Rogue One Stormtrooper also has like green eyelids, but it's very, very slight to where it really just basically looks like black eyelids. And I really prefer this look for the Stormtrooper. I wish that they went for this for the Incinerator Trooper. I don't know why I don't really like the green that much, but it's just like when the green is like on the DTOF, you can really just notice it, and it just looks kind of odd to me. I just like the clean, white Stormtrooper with the black eyelids. So I wish they went with the black eyelids like they did for the Rogue One Stormtrooper. But that's just a small gripe, and probably the only gripe that I have with this figure as a whole from a collection perspective. Yeah, so continuing to just take a look at this, like, I mean, he looks awesome. And you are going to be able to get this figure in some pretty sweet poses with this flame effect and this jetpack. Basically, this is like probably exactly the pose that I'm going to be having him in. And then take a look at everything he comes with. He comes with a bunch of hands. He comes with the standard display base. I'm totally cool with this display base. I prefer this unless you're going to give me like a Dark Side Anakin display base, I'd rather you just give me one of these. Just the classic look. Hate the hexagon display bases that Marvel has, so I'm really glad that Star Wars continues to use these. And then obviously the big selling point, like I mentioned, is this fire pack with this fire gun. Okay, so in my book, he's good from a collection perspective. Let's talk about it from an investment perspective. All right, this is where we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to do a little bit of scenario analysis. It's the same thing that we do in finance when we're, when you're looking at investments, you do scenario analysis. Bear case, base case, bull case. Bear case being worst case scenario, base case being obviously the base case scenario for what you would expect to happen, and then bull case being best case scenario. Bear case for this figure, I think it just sits at retail. I don't think that will happen, but like we've seen so many stormtroopers do that. So like, could this happen with this Incinerator Trooper since it is just a variation of another Stormtrooper? Sure. I don't think it's going to go below retail. So I think that your bear case, you're pretty protected, in which case you're getting some pretty good optionality with this figure. Base case, I think this figure is $315 to $345 figure range. This figure sells out. The people that slept on it, maybe he shows up again in The Mandalorian Season 2 and people want him. Or maybe they realize that they just wanted this figure in their collection. It's pretty unique from a Stormtrooper's perspective. Or you have new people entering the hot toy community and they go back and they want to pick up this figure. We've seen a lot of troopers, a lot of troopers can just go and and just settle in the $300 to $340 range. So like, I likely expect that this will probably happen in this figure. Bull case scenario, 425 to 475. Like 475 is probably pushing it, probably like 400 to 450 area. What has to happen for this to get into the bull case scenario where this figure really outperforms? Two things. First thing, supply numbers. It has been confirmed now that the Remnant Trooper they are only doing one batch of. I don't know if that's because it wasn't pre-ordered enough. I don't know, maybe if the Mandalorian just wasn't as popular with the folks in Asia. But they're only doing one batch of the Remnant Trooper. So if you are on the fence right now about this figure, as of recording this video, the Remnant Trooper is now shipping, but it is still in stock on Sideshow. But people basically haven't really gotten it stateside yet. If you are on the fence about this figure, what I would do is I would wait and see what happens with the Remnant Trooper. If this Remnant Trooper sells out quickly, by quickly I mean like within a month of this figure now being in stock as of a couple of days ago on Sideshow, that should be very telling to you how the Incinerator Trooper will do. That means that this figure was likely undersupplied, and we could have another scenario like we've seen with Solo figures and we've seen with Rogue One figures where they just go where they just sell out too quickly. The standard time that if Hot Toys should be in stock for, in general, probably the average is something around 6 months. And that's usually a sign that the figure was very healthily supplied. Anything less than like 2 months is undersupplied, and that should be a sign that you should buy it. How do you know when the Remnant Trooper is about to go waitlist? If you add the Remnant Trooper to cart, there's going to be a warning saying that the figure will only be in your cart for 5 minutes. That usually happens anywhere from 6 to 48 hours before a figure goes waitlist. So just keep your eye on that. Just make sure you're in Facebook groups. People always post in Facebook groups when a figure is about to go waitlist, and people are starting to see that warning. And once that happens once that happens on the Remnant Trooper, just analyze that and think about how long it's been since that figure had come in stock. And then on the flip side, you can basically apply the same methodology to the Incinerator Trooper. And then the other thing for the bull case scenario, the other point for the bull case scenario for this figure is, are we going to see this character again in The Mandalorian Season 2? Is it going to be a prominent character in The Mandalorian Season 2? Obviously, in Season 1, he had a very important, it wasn't a very important role, but it was a really cool role where he basically had his own shot and he was the antagonist of a scene, which was very cool. Are we going to see more of the Incinerator Trooper? Are we going to see more Incinerator Troopers, more than just one in the shot in Mandalorian Season 2? That would also help this figure. And those are two things that would really need to happen, I think, for this figure to be a 400 plus figure. But in reality, I'm more thinking that the large percentage of my guess is that it's going to be, in a base case scenario, $300 to $325 figure. And that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys for tuning in. These are just my thoughts on the Incinerator Trooper. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys agree with my logic from an investment perspective? Are you guys picking up this figure? Are you guys picking up 2 of this figure? Are you guys pumped for all of these Mandalorian figures starting to come out? I know I am. Let me know in the comment section down below. This is 6 Economist. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're past 500 subs. Let's get to 1,000 scubs. And as always, buy the dip, sell the rip. This is the way. We'll see you in the next video.